I've sat through a meal, 4 dances, and a fucking cake cutting that required no less than 6 helpers because it stood at least 5 feet tall. Now there are speeches I'll never remember, and I've stared, glowered, and ogled Abby the entire time while shooting daggers from my eye sockets at the men who have touched, talked, or laughed with her. To say I've hit my limit with this wedding bullshit is the understatement of the fucking century. I'm done. So when my girl excuses herself from the grasp of lecherous man number 5, I track her movements to the restrooms. When did I start stalking women headed to the loo? Tugging on my earlobe, I sit back in my seat and attempt to fake a relaxed position.
You like her,
Nova whispers to my right. Oh, he likes her all right. The glee in my father's voice makes a smirk lift at the corners of my lips. I don't give in to the smile entirely because I will not give him false hope. One-night stands do not mean love. Why are you glowering at her then, dear? My mother asks through a smirk of her own. She is truly diabolical. Kitty Briar-Blaine is as shrewd as I am. My guess is because of all the dances she's had with other men as part of her wedding party duties. Nova stresses each word. Logically, I know she's correct, but I still hate it. Nonsense, I say instead. We simply have unfinished business, that's all. Unfinished business, Banny? Like slime the banana? My father wiggles his eyebrows with a suggestive expression. I choke on my old-fashioned. Jesus, Dad. Check the oil, my mother adds. Feed the kitty, knocking boots, bumping uglies. I glare at Nova. The last thing I need to think about is all the euphemisms my family can come up with for having sex. The no pants dance, 2-person push-ups, stuff the taco. My sister is thoroughly enjoying herself now. Test the humidity, my father barks out. Burping the worm in the mole hole? Bloody hell, mother, the mole hole? Are you serious? I feel my face flame, but my family is on a roll and laughter rings out loud, proud and happy. They're nothing if not thorough. I precisely fold my napkin, taking a moment to count to 10 before I storm off like a... What is it Colton calls it? Ah, yes, a juiced-up nut monkey. Lovely. Now I'm quoting my most immature friend. Perhaps I'm having a midlife crisis. Yes, can 32 be considered midlife? I've had enough of my own shit. My thoughts are rampant and unnerving, and no matter what I do, I cannot get them under control. Ride the skin-busted tuna town! My father guffaws so loudly at his addition to this insanity that it snaps me from my wayward thoughts, and I stand, quickly. I have to take a piss. Right, Nova sings. It's cheeky that your bladder is on the same schedule as our beautiful new friend, Abby. Don't you think, Kitty? Very, my mother agrees. Tossing my napkin onto the table, I turn on my heels and stalk off in Abby's direction. Finding a bench in the hall directly between the men's and women's restrooms, I take a seat and pretend to scroll my phone. It doesn't take long before sounds filter out through the women's room. It's loud. Not loud enough to be considered yelling or for me to clearly make out all the words, but loud enough that someone sounds slightly hysterical. I lean closer, straining to ensure it's not Abby's voice. Once I'm reasonably confident it's not Abby, I relax against the wall. I'm content replying to work emails until the door to my left flies open and a wave of activity filters out into the hall. Katrina, you cannot be serious right now. It's your cousin's day, her wedding day. You need to be here. Whatever, Katrina scoffs. I know this woman too. She's the bride's evil cousin, and I'm seriously beginning to believe that Audra was adopted. And don't be ridiculous. Knowing those two, she'll get a chance to be a bride again in 3 years, tops. A collective gasp rings out behind her. Then the voice I crave fills the space as Abby moves into the restroom doorway. You listen to me, you nasty little she-devil. If you're leaving this wedding, you're going out the back door without making a scene, without speaking to Audra, without showing anyone else what a horrid bitch you are. Do I make myself clear? Well, well, well. My pepper is spicier than I realized. Katrina moves forward into Abby's space and, leaning in, I can see that she doesn't back down.
Do you have any idea who I am?
Now it's Abby's turn to step forward, and she carries the threat Katrina couldn't pull off. Katrina arches her body back as Abby crowds her space.
Yes, you're a twat, and I hope to God you never need Audra for anything. You may think her good nature will always have her running to your side, but after tonight, all her friends will make sure she knows exactly where her loyalty should lie. Spoiler, it's not with a selfish asshole. What is your choice? Stay and plaster a smile on that vicious face of yours, or slip out the back with whatever man-whore caught your attention? How dare you?
Katrina snarls. I choose this moment to make myself known and rise to my full height. It's not that I approve of weddings, but if anyone can pull off a forever, it's Audra Foundry. Katrina is the only one facing me, and her gaze goes wide and unblinking when she sees me.
Actually,
she fumbles.
I'm not feeling well. I'm heading home.
She sniffs the air in a pretentious way I know well. She's about to say something snotty because she just can't help herself. But I intervene. Sounds like a wise plan. I mean, I've heard weddings can be downright magical. Isn't that right, Abby? Abby spins quickly on her heels, and I register shock before a mask I can't read returns to her beautiful face. The last thing we'd want is anyone ruining the lovely Audra's sparkle. Don't you agree, Katrina? She sighs and stomps toward the exit.
Bailey,
Pepper says.
You go back to the reception. Let Audra know that Katrina is ill. I'll walk her to the door and meet you in there. We only have about an hour left anyway.
There's a gentleness to her voice I like. It's not the bossy tone she sometimes uses. It's not the commanding one either. It's something almost vulnerable, soft, something real that I like so much but can't put into words.
Okay, done. Thanks, Abby.
Bailey passes by me appearing much more relaxed than she did moments ago. Abby did that. I nod in Abby's direction as she leads Katrina to the door. I stand back and let her take care of her charge. After a few minutes, she walks back to me slowly, almost cautiously, like I make her nervous, and I give her an easy smile. Pepper, I groan when she's close enough to smell. She lets out a heavy sigh.
Man, rich people can be exhausting.
She mumbles it under her breath, but I hear every word. Is she not wealthy herself? If that's the case, how has she become friends with all these people that clearly trust her? She's a mystery. I enjoy finding all the clues, too. Hooking an arm around her waist, I pull her to my side. Move with me.
What?
She gasps, glancing up horrified.
You mean dance with you? Not move in with you, right?
I did mean dance, but the idea of seeing her every morning doesn't send me running for the hills as it should. No, Pepper. I mean move with me. Leaning down, I whisper in her ear as I lead her back to the dance floor. Move with me, so I can feel your body glide against mine and remember what it felt like when you were naked. Move with me, so I can hear those sexy mules in the back of your throat. Move with me, so when I pull your body tight against my hips, you feel just how much I've thought about you every day for weeks. I pause, willing her to peer up at me. See, so much more than dancing, my sweet Pepper, and with my arms wrapped around you, I can make sure you don't run from me again. Jesus, Locke, put a cork in it. You're about to caulk up everything here. The last thing Pepper needs to know is that she's infiltrated my mind.
So, what you're saying is you've thought about my body, huh? Just my body?
A legitimate grunt escapes me, causing the couple in front of us to shift quickly to their left. And your gobby, sexy mouth.
Gobby?
She laughs until she notices my expression. It's all I can do not to ravish her right here. But true to form, the second I glance up, my family is standing at the edge of the dance floor watching. I'm almost surprised Nova doesn't pass out popcorn. I move quickly, turn my back on the peanut gallery, and take Abby into my arms. I don't fight the sensation that she fits, or the way my heart flutters when she's nearby. No, I bask in it all while we move as one. It's one of those songs that's not particularly slow or fast. It's a strange beat that allows us to bend and flow in a way that feels like we've always done it. As a general rule, I hate music. It's a distraction I don't have time for. But as she sings against my chest, I know I'll be reliving this moment for a long time. I don't hear the band anymore, not when I have her this close. The words coming out of her mouth sound sad, and while they match the song, it just doesn't sound right coming from her. What are you singing? She stares up at me with a frown, and I prepare for something snarky. But then she tilts her head, and her tone is soft, careful, and full of patience when she speaks, even if she does lace it with a teasing wink. I realize I've been holding my breath, waiting for a confrontation that never comes, because that's how it was with my ex, and I let it out slowly. Pepper is nothing like I expect, and it makes me like her that much more.
It's Taylor Swift. You do know who Taylor Swift is, right?
Yes, I sigh. I recognize the name. What does she have to do with anything? She glares at me like I just kicked a puppy.
First of all, she's one of the best songwriters of our generation.
I don't listen to music. She stops moving and drops her arms from my shoulders, taking all her warmth with her.
Ever?
It's a distraction, I say with a shrug.
This song is called Wildest Dreams. I would have thought you'd like it. It seems to fit your love doesn't last forever mantra.
Why would they play this at a wedding then? She shrugs as if it's obvious.
It's classic Taylor. Audra is a big fan, and when you're a big fan, you play all the songs, even songs about love. That leaves you in the end.
I'm physically incapable of handling the sadness that washes over her, so I react. I'm doing that a lot around her, and I don't know what to make of it. Memories can last forever, I tell her, and I'd very much like to make another with you. Right now.